Hello everyone. So hopefully by now you've all had a chance to review some of the materials in the Place-Based Education Digital Curation. I know it's a lot of information, so to get us started, I'd like to just do a quick summary of place-based education. So what exactly are we talking about when we say place-based education? So it's defined by the Center for Place-Based Learning and Community Engagement as an immersive learning experience that places students in local heritage, cultures, landscapes, opportunities, and experiences, and uses these as foundation for the study of language arts, mathematics, social studies, science, and other subjects across the curriculum. So the great thing about place-based education is it can occur anytime, anywhere, and it isn't limited by any type of geographic setting. It can take place in rural areas, suburban areas, or city areas. It can include visits to local museums or landmarks. It can be interviews with local citizens. It can be a school garden filled with native plants to the area, as long as you are sort of focusing on your local place. So some of the goals of place-based education include boosting academic achievement, increasing student and teacher engagement, and impacting the local community. So place-based education seeks to make learning relevant and engaging for students. One of the great things about this type of learning is that it helps students identify their role in their local community and how they can potentially improve and make an impact in their communities, which I think is really important. So, and then this local learning that's inherent in place-based education serves as the foundation for global learning as students mature in their education. So I think it's really important for elementary students especially to have a strong understanding of their local place before moving on to these sort of broad global ideas. I think it helps create a sense of where they fit into a larger picture, which ultimately helps them to become critical thinkers and problem solvers, and hopefully eventually creates responsible local and global citizens as these students mature and get older and become adults. So place-based education is more about experiential learning than just simply teaching. So students are active participants. Lessons are very inquiry-based, which I think helps students feel more engaged and in charge of their own learning. And hopefully that will be reflected in an improved academic performance. So obviously there's a lot of other materials in the collection about strategies for implementing place-based education into the curriculum. We're not going to go into all of that right now, but today we're going to look at a tool that I think is a really fun way to incorporate both place-based education and technology. So the tool is called Thinglink. So there are a couple of different options. You have a free option, which is what we are going to look at today, or you have the ability to upgrade, where you can have the premium edition where you can create the basic images that you can create with the free version, but you can also do video and 360 images. So this starts at about $35 a year for single teachers or about $500 a year for the whole school. So depending on how you want to use it, it's something that you might want to think about. But I think that the free version also has a lot to offer. So you would basically set up your account as an educator. And now this is sort of the welcome page. You can see different ideas. But if you go to My Media, that's where you're going to be able to create your images. So kind of the idea for this for place-based learning is that you would get outside somewhere with your students, you would take them on a field trip, you would go just look around the schoolyard, you would go to a historical site in your local community, you would go to a museum, you would go to a park. Depending on what your curriculum is, you would go somewhere and you would have the students take pictures. So this does require, obviously, to have some sort of technology, whether you've got iPads or cameras or phones, whatever they could use. They could work in groups. So basically, they'll go out and they will take pictures of their local place. And then you will come back into the classroom and you'll upload these images and you can basically create interactive educational photos as sort of a project. So it's pretty user-friendly. You would just go to create, and then you can upload an image. So we're going to look at an image that I took at a local park, Apex Community Park. So now it takes you to this screen where you can edit your image. So the first thing you can do is give it a title. Now basically you can click anywhere on this picture to add different tags. We're going to go ahead and click right here. And I want to give some information about this heron, let's say. So I've looked up a website already for great blue herons in North Carolina. And I can go ahead and paste the URL in here. It's just going to automatically load. Apologize for my internet going slow. Now let's say we want to also put just some information about Apex Community Park. Since that's where this image was taken, we can just click anywhere on here. Again, I looked up the website for Apex Community Park. Should have popped up with the great blue heron picture, so hopefully we'll see that in the finished product. But it's going to all automatically give you sort of a blurb from the website, an image from the site that you choose. You can change this text here if you want, if you just wanted it to say Apex Community Park, for example, whatever you want. You can also change your icon image. These are your free options. And then again, if you upgrade, you've got several more choices. So let's say we want this to be the little book since we're giving information. And then we can hit save. Now the last one, let's say that maybe I want to include another image in here that I've taken before at this same place. Let's see, you can go to upload image, and here are some geese and goslings that I took a picture of on a different visit. So I could just geese and goslings in there, can hit save. Let me go ahead and maybe I want to change this icon image to be a photo. And we'll change this one to match with the other one to be the book. You can see you've got a lot of different options of what you can do. You can put the URL like we did to take you to a website. You can put images. You can upload audio. So a lot of different options. And then again, you've got these more advanced settings if you upgrade. So then we go down here to save image. And now you've got this sort of full screen image that you can interact with. You can see there's our picture of the geese and goslings as an example of something else that might be found in this local place. You can click here to take you to the website about the great blue heron. Click here to take you to the website about Apex Community Park. And then obviously, if you were learning about different plants, I have no idea what these are because I am not a science teacher, but you could have different information in there, basically whatever you want. And you could also use this not just for science. Like I said, you could, if you were doing this for social studies, you could go to a historical landmark and the students could look up information about the history. So I think that this tool is probably best suited for some of the older grades, fourth and fifth graders. But I think this is also a really great tool for you as an educator to use for some of the younger grades. The students could go out and they could take the pictures. And then as a class, you could come together and look at this program and let them sort of see the images that they took come to life. So just to give you an example that the website provides of a 360 image, you can see this obviously can become very interactive.
The most important food resource for the Nutcracker are the...
They've added audio. So this is a great tool to really get out into your local community, but also incorporate technology into your lesson and sort of transform images that correlate to your curriculum into these interactive educational images. So that's just a introduction to using this technology. And when we go ahead and meet in person, we are going to get outside and take some pictures and play around with this technology ourselves. So I look forward to seeing everybody soon. Thanks.